I told Tom earlier in our conference meeting that I disagreed with it.
I think this is a minority position within the party.
I think this is a false choice. I believe the majority of the conference disagrees with it. But we shouldn't be talking about raising taxes right now. What we should be talking about is what we're going to cut spending.
Congressman Tom Cole of Oklahoma has signaled that Republicans should accept the president's tax offer. Many members of his conference are not on board. Congressman Cole joins me now, former chairman of the NRCC. And a point that I always love to point out to folks, you're a guy that actually used to do political polling, so I always say you're one of the few politicians that knows how to read a poll, elected officials that does. So, Congressman,
I can read an election, too.
Explain why you believe your way is the best way for Republicans to get a better deal long term.
Well, first of all, we agree on where we want to go. I couldn't agree more with the Speaker. Raising tax rates is a terrible idea. It's bad for the economy. It'll cost jobs. It'll slow things down. And frankly, the President, if we're going to have a deal, has got to get finally more specific about spending cuts and entitlement reform. Having said that, there is a point we agree. The President says he wants to make 80% of the Bush tax cuts permanent for 98% of the American people and take them out of the discussion. I think we should do that. Now, that advice was given in private, but you guys have a way of figuring out what said in private, and somebody leaked it out. That's fine, because I'm not going to tell you one thing.
You didn't intend for this to go public. You did not. This was something you were... Okay.
Yeah, but again, it is what I said. It's not an inaccurate report. Again, I don't think it changes where we're going. Our chief negotiator is the Speaker. He can deliver the Republican votes for a deal that he thinks is the right one. I always support him in that, and I'm sure I would again. Again, if we can give the American people an early Christmas present, if they can listen to the debate instead of be worried that their own taxes are going to go up, I think that actually strengthens our hand. Our leverage here is not tax rates. That's actually the Democrats' leverage. Our leverage, in my view, are spending cuts. The Democrats don't want any domestic spending cuts. They're going to happen if there's not a deal. And the President is the commander-in-chief, and it's a dangerous world. And I got to believe the Secretary of Defense, he doesn't want any more defense cuts either.
Do you believe that you do believe that now coming out essentially to Boehner's left, you have helped the Speaker sort of keep the Republican conference semi-unified, or does it hurt? I've had some Republicans say what leaked out was a real public relations setback.
Oh, I don't think so. Look, first of all, these things blow over pretty fast. But second, I think at the end of the day, having the ability to have an honest discussion is a good thing, not a bad thing. Speaker's very direct, very honest, very open. So am I. They asked my opinion for what I thought. I told them. I haven't changed my mind. I'm not going to come out here and be disingenuous to people. I think it'd be a step in the right direction. But at the end of the day, this is a debate over tactics. The real question is political theology, and we don't disagree on that.
How many Republicans quietly have come up to you and said, you know what, you're right? This is the right strategy.
Look, there's certainly a division of opinion, a variety of opinion, I should say, inside the Republican conference. I'll let other members speak for themselves, and, just leave it at that.
Grover Norquist, one of the things you were talking about leverage, and that you believe Republicans could get more leverage if they got this out of the way, called the White House's bluff, if you will, say, okay, fine, we'll give you this, then we'll have the larger debate. He believes that the debt ceiling should be used as leverage. Is that responsible governing?
Well, I think the Speaker did, and our conference did the right thing last time. We were willing to raise the debt ceiling. That's a tough vote for Republicans, but only if it was accompanied by reforms and long-term spending cuts. I actually think that's a good thing and should be institutionalized. We should not continue on a course of piling up debt and not try to correct things. I think the Speaker did the right thing, pushed for that, and we got it. And as a result, we're going to have $2 trillion less in long-term debt thanks to what John Boehner did.
By the way, should there be a debt ceiling? Is this a sort of a ridiculous
No, I don't think it's ridiculous. I think it forces us to confront reality. We can't pile up debt without thought of where we're going. And I think making Congress put their fingerprints on this, making the administration actually put something forward is a very good thing. So I would not be for getting rid of the debt ceiling.
Very quickly, I'm curious what you thought of Stuart Stevens' diagnosis in the Washington Post yesterday about Mitt Romney. Specifically, that basically he says the reason they lost was, well, the president was a charismatic African-American president with $1 billion, no primary, and a media that often felt morally conflicted about being critical. How easy is that to replicate?
Look, I think
you really think that's the reason Mitt Romney lost?
Look, I haven't spent a lot of time, and to be fair, I haven't had a chance to read Stewart's piece. I don't want to micromanage it. But look, the incumbents are hard to beat. The president got reelected, but he got reelected by less vote than he got the last time. We held the House of Representatives. He's in a much weaker position starting his second term than he was in his first term. So let's not prematurely panic here and say we did everything wrong. Could we have done some things differently? If I were picking something, I would have said a better job of defining Mitt Romney over the summer early was probably the biggest drawback. Once people got to know him after that first debate, it's amazing how quickly they transformed things. But I think they did real and lasting damage, and I give the Obama campaign credit. They picked exactly the right moment when they had a financial advantage between June and August before general election. They defined him. They did a good job. But people in the Romney campaign don't have anything to be ashamed of. They ran a tough race.
Tom Cole, Republican from Oklahoma, member of Congress, former pollster. Thanks for coming on, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Well, forget the Powerball. Wall Street is feeling optimistic.